So
Okay,
you recording now?
Yeah, recording. Okay, this presentation is on the topic of unite. Yeah. We know that the fall took place because of the difference of love relationship between God, Lucifer, and God and his children. So more detail is that God said, the day you eat of it, you shall die. You shall surely die. Whereas Lucifer said this to Eve, for God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be open and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. So you can see that God's words to Adam and Eve very different from what Lucifer said to Eve. As we know, Lucifer is trying to deceive Eve, but he was successful. So we have to understand that when we talk about unity, we have to ask who we should unite with. That's critical because at the time of the fall, Eve united with the wrong person. If Eve have united with God, it means that then God's purpose of creation and God's love would have embraced totally Adam and Eve to a point where God would give the blessing to Adam and Eve, and through ownership, Adam and Eve would have established true ownership. So unity is important, but very important to understand is that usually there's two persons that we need to unite. Yeah. So if you unite with the wrong person, then just as Eve and Adam united with Lucifer rather than God, that was the fall. So very important to understand that we need to unite with the right person. So in the course of faith, we always talk about artistic Abel. But artistic Abel is not assigned to us. We choose who is our artistic Abel. So by choosing our artistic Abel, we can also make very serious mistake as well. And nowadays, we don't talk so much about artistic Abel, but during our life of faith and training, we were told to find our artistic Abel. Yeah. So usually the artistic Abel and our central figure may be different. So that may cause problems. Yeah. So we have to understand that the fall, the result of the fall, uniting with the archangel, the result is devastating. We already went through this. Love determines ownership. So therefore, once Eve fell, the archangel could rightfully claim ownership over her and over all her descendants, fallen human beings. So this one decision that Eve made to unite with the archangel and have committed sexual adultery with the archangel brought about the fall. So we can see that it has very serious consequences. Now we move on to the restoration of the elder sonship, and then restoration of the parent position, and then kingship. So we know that Cain and Abel, God accepted the offering of Abel, but rejected the offering of Cain. Yeah. So this time, after God rejected the offering of Cain, God guided and even cared for Cain and gave very clear guidance to Cain to guide him, so that he will not commit further sin. So the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? And why has your countenance fallen?" Long face. Huh? "If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin lies at the door, and its desire is for you, but you should rule over it." So God is asking Cain to overcome whatever feelings he may have of resentment, because his offering was rejected, but the offering of his younger brother was accepted by God. God was really encouraging him to overcome this sin that is troubling in his heart, that you must master it, you must rule over it. Now, you would think that this direct guidance and love that God showed to Cain would have united in heart with God. But the next thing we know from the Bible is that Cain killed Abel. Now you think about it, how could Cain be so angry to a point of killing his younger brother after God encouraged him to overcome that struggle that he's having in his heart? We can only say that just as Eve sympathized with the archangel, we can say that someone must have sympathized with Cain. Don't you think so? Who was it that sympathized with Cain? So could he have gone to someone and spoke to that person about the struggles that is in his heart? So most likely that must have happened, but the Bible is silent as to what happened after God advised him to overcome his sin. So we can only say that there is every possibility that Cain must have approached his mother. And if the mother have sympathized with Cain, most likely that's the reason why he got even more upset, more angry, and that led him to kill his younger brother. So here again, who you unite with is very, very important. And is again reenacted here between the elder brother and younger brother. As the elder brother, with all the hatred and resentment in his heart, even God showing his love and concern, he could not accept it from God, but instead he united with the wrong person and subsequently killed his brother. In the same way, if you look at Noah's family, Noah sacrificed his whole life to build the ark, to save his family of 8 members. And Noah abandoned his family altogether. So the mother has to take care of the family. So the father was absent altogether. But this big sacrifice, Noah was able to save his family of 8 members, including himself. So after the flood judgment, after the flood, Ham, the second son, here again, the second son was supposed to be on God's side. But Satan knew that, and so Satan worked with Ham. So all the time, we know very well that if Ham had been one heart with Noah, he would not have had any reason to feel ashamed at seeing his father's nakedness. And even if he feel that his father's nakedness is something that the father should not have committed, he should have forgiven his father because his father saved the whole family. And even if he feels that his father has done something wrong, he could easily have covered his naked father. But he didn't do that. He called his 2 brothers to come in with him, and they walk backwards to cover the naked father. So here again, we can see that why is it that Ham judged and condemned his father, even after the father saved the whole family from the flood judgment? Again, it's not mentioned in the Bible, but the relationship of Ham's mother and father must have been very, very important. So if Ham's wife, Noah's wife, have any kind of disunity with Noah, this would have influenced and passed on to her children. Yeah, especially if she has resentment towards her husband. This resentment would have passed on to their children. And this is probably the reason why Ham could not forgive his fathers when he was drunk and naked. So he judged and condemned his father by asking his 2 brothers to cover his father's nakedness. Here again, disunity caused this kind of serious mistake committed by Ham. And because of Ham's mistake, a curse fell upon Ham that his descendants will be slaves to the descendants of his brother, of his brothers. Yeah. So second born was supposed to be on God's side, and Satan took the second born, and so God arranged for the descendants of Shem, firstborn. So Abraham came from the descendants of the firstborn. This all was all restored when Abraham had to offer his only son, Isaac. When God blessed Abraham that his descendants will number like the stars, number like the sand, and yet God seems very cruel to ask Abraham to offer that only son of his. And when he was trying to offer his son, even his son asked, "Where's the burnt offering?" Abraham did not answer him, and Isaac must have understood that he was supposed to be the burnt offering. But he didn't resist. He didn't run away. He willingly offered his life for his father to sacrifice his life. Yeah. So this is a amazing unity of heart between Isaac and Abraham. So this restored this unity that Ham had towards Noah. Isaac did not judge his father because the father is actually murdering him. Yeah. And yet Isaac did not judge and condemn his father. He allowed himself to be the offering. Ham judged and condemned his father. That's the difference. Yeah. So this unity of heart of Abraham and Isaac, being the third family, restored Abraham's family, but because he did not cut the dove into two, there were consequences. Okay. So we know very well that the chosen people had to then suffer, 400 years of slavery, later on. Now, there is not only this unity between husband and wife, sons and father, but also the unity, very important, between husband and wife, especially Abraham and Sarah. So, what a husband. This is from Sarah. He dragged me away from a comfortable home to this foreign land, and he now does not even want me to call him my husband, but my brother. And then she knew that she's going to be taken by the Pharaoh, She's old, but somehow very beautiful, okay? And so she knew that this would happen. Would any wife allow herself to be, taken by another man, not to mention the Pharaoh and the king? The fact that she completely united with Abraham meant that this unity of heart protected her altogether. And then there was no need for her to be one of the concubines of Pharaoh. Yeah. So the Pharaoh actually returned her back to Abraham. So in a way, restoring the Eve mistake. Yeah. Eve, instead of uniting in heart with Adam and uniting in heart with God, she united in heart and had adulterous relationship with Lucifer. So that restored that relationship. So this is not only one time with Pharaoh, but also with another time with another king. Yeah. So this was repeated. I think I mentioned this also between Isaac and Rebekah also. Similar situation where Isaac had to somehow give his wife to the king. So not only Abraham, but Isaac couple as well. Now here we have a situation where there's a unity of heart necessary between two women. So Abraham could not have a child through Sarah And so Sarah gave the maidservant Hagar to him, and Ishmael was born. But Sarah later on was able to give birth to Isaac, and Sarah expelled Hagar from the household together with Ishmael. Yeah. So this unity was crucial between the two women, where the two women had to share one husband. Yeah. So when Sarah expelled Hagar, this was the disunity, and that later on made it necessary also for Jesus' family between Elizabeth and Mary. The Bible did not clearly mention that Elizabeth expelled Mary, but Elizabeth testified to Mother Mary, the baby that she will carry. Yeah. So she entered the household of Zachariah when she was 6 months pregnant. And 3 months later, Mary left before the birth of John the Baptist. Why? Again, the Bible did not mention clearly what reason Mary had to leave. So this could be a similar situation, just as Sarah expelled Hagar. There is every possibility that Elizabeth may have expelled Mary as well, and this caused the disunity between the two families, between John the Baptist and Jesus later on. And also between the right thief and the left thief, between right wing and left wing, also between Christianity and Islam. Okay, so complete divide and disunity on a much bigger level, on the religious level, on in terms of blocks of nation against blocks of nations as well. So we also learned this in the women in the Bible between Leah and Rachel. So even though Rachel was the first love of Jacob, but somehow, Jacob loved Leah. But Leah and Rachel, Leah is the elder sister, Rachel is the younger sister, but we never talk about the restoration of two sisters. We only mention about Cain and Abel, yeah? But actually, restoration of the two sisters, Leah and Rachel, was very critical, and Rebecca was supposed to play a part in this mother and daughter-in-law relationship. So she was to persuade Leah to submit to Rachel, the younger sister, so that the wives could unite with Jacob's heart. Yeah. So here you have a situation of restoration of elder sister and younger sister. Yeah. And restoring the elder sonship. For this case, restoring the elder daughtership position. Very, very important restoration. And the principle of restoration should talk about this as well. Because just as there is the importance of restoring elder sonship, there is also the importance of restoring elder daughtership. Now, we talk about the unity. We usually talk about the three unities, right? The unity of mind and body, the unity of father and mother, and unity of parents and children. When we talk about the unity of parents and children, we have to understand that the Asian culture has a much stronger understanding in talking about being filial. So filial means what? Filial means, filial piety starts when a child worries about his parents' difficulties more than his own. This is basically what true parents have said about filial piety. So we know very well that this is the foundation. You could say, well, as I already explained in earlier presentation, filial piety, filial heart is actually the heart of attendance. Yeah. So completed testament age is the era of attendance. But if you introduce the understanding that true mother particularly emphasize to have this filial heart and filial piety, it means that attendance basically means being filial. So filial is not just between object partner to subject partner, but also subject partner to object partner. So parents to children as well. Okay. So husband and wife. Husband attends wife and wife attends husband. You can also say they have filial heart. This filial heart is the heart of attendance. Yeah. So filial piety takes on a very completely different understanding from the Asian understanding of being filial, but true parents introduce the understanding of filial piety to include the understanding of attendance. Yeah. So this is a very important understanding, and we have to understand attendance means we can feel the heart of our elder, our parents, our father, our mother, and our parents can also feel the heart of our children. This is where filial heart comes in. That is a two-way understanding, not just in terms of service understanding of the children to their parents, but attendance. Attendance means, with the understanding of filial heart, means you not only worry of your parents' difficulties, you can feel for your parents' heart, and parents can feel the heart of children. Husband can attend to their wife, means the husband can feel the heart of his wife, and the wife can feel the heart of the husband. Yeah. So when we say that we have a longing heart, this longing heart, the husband have a longing heart for his wife, and the wife have a longing heart for her husband. Yeah. So if we say that we have a longing heart for true parents, it means that I should really have this longing heart for true mother and longing heart for true father. Yeah. And I am, this is the true meaning of unity when you combine the understanding of being filial and attendance. So this is to make clear that unity is not just physical unity, but the unity of heart. So a unity of heart, what does that mean? I just explained what unity of heart means. Yeah. So as True Mother, this is from True Mother speech on the central role of women in the ideal world. This was given in True Mother's world tour, So when a wife leading a life of attendance to her husband, she's talking about herself, receive deep insight into God's truth and is profoundly inspired by her husband's character and life. She has a responsibility to tell the world about her experiences. So this is true mother's exemplary attendance to true father. Yeah, nobody can doubt true mother's absolute attendance to true father. Yeah, so true mother's exemplary attendance to true father, yeah, is the example we should follow. Yeah, and true mother goes on to say that the origin of today's evil world of conflict and rampant decadence can be traced to the breakdown and disharmony in the fundamental husband-wife relationship. So the fundamental relationship between husband and wife is to bring unity. So unity of heart, what does that unity of heart mean? I already explained from the understanding of attendance, from the understanding of filial heart. So this is a very important understanding. So as true parents always say, if husband can unite with wife and wife can unite with husband, we can bring unity in the cosmos. So this fundamental unity between husband and wife is so crucial in bringing the unity in the cosmos. Yeah. Now, I shall move on to the last understanding that I would like to also introduce. Very important to understand unity in terms of when Jesus was on earth 2,000 years ago. Yeah. Did he ask his disciple to disbelieve in him so that he can go the way of the cross? No. He asked all his disciples to believe in him. Jesus answered and said to them, "This is the work of God, that you believe in him whom he sent." Also, Philip asked him, "Lord, show us the Father, and it is sufficient for us." Show us the Father. So all the miracles did not actually convince the people that Jesus was one heart with God. So they have to ask him, "Show us the Father." Jesus said to him, "Have I been with you so long, and yet you have not known me, Philip? He who has seen me has seen the Father. So how can you say, 'Show us the Father'?" Yeah. So Christian misunderstood this and said that Jesus is God himself. Yeah. So Jesus said, "If you've seen me, you've seen the Father." So it's very important to understand that True Mother always emphasized that we have to understand the essence of Jesus. Jesus is the only begotten Son of God. So when True Mother, you read True Mother's memoir, it's very important to understand that True Mother said that True Father is the only begotten Son of God. And True Mother is the only begotten daughter of God. Now, it's very important to understand that when True Father and True Mother or True Parents talk about the only begotten, it doesn't mean literally only, because if Jesus is the only begotten Son of God, Father cannot be the only begotten Son of God. So when true parents say only begotten, it means that they are born like Jesus without sin. But very different from second blessed children. No, this is, as you already gone through the change of blood lineage, this is God arranged. God participated in that love relationship that brought about the birth of the only begotten Son of God and the only begotten daughter of God. I just want to make that very clear. Okay. So This is the most recent, last Sunday, Bishop Kim mentioned about this, which I would like to share, and I think it's very important that we understand this. In Mark 12:30-31, and you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. This is the first commandment. And the second one, like it is this, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than this. So these are the two fundamental commandments applied to today, loving God. What does that mean, to love God at this time? To love God at this time means, just as Jesus's time, is to believe in Jesus, is to believe in true parents and love true parents. That is loving God. Yeah? Okay? So loving true parents means what? Loving true mother, because she is still physically in this world. So what does it mean to love true mother? It means unite absolutely with true mother. So to unite in heart with true mother, what does that mean? It means already what I said to you, we have to have a filial heart towards true mother. We have to have, this heart, that longing heart for true mother. Okay. We want to attend to true mother. So true mother's victory in Cheong Wangung, true mother said, one of the most important, amazing blessing we have is we can attend God. When true mother say attend God, what does it mean? It means attend true parents. It means attend true mother. So when you attend true mother, what does that mean? It means that you need to have this filial heart. You need to have this longing heart. You need to ask God that you can feel the heart of true mother's pain and suffering and difficulties and challenges she faced in her life. The sleepless night she has, the tears that she shed so much, blood, sweat, and tears that she shed so much at Cheong Shim Wan in Las Vegas in her room. We talk about that, and then now we have Cheong Shim Wan, So that is the whole understanding of uniting absolutely with true mother. So this is a very important understanding of what unity means. And I hope that we can all cultivate this heart of unity that we must have, not only with true mother, but the heart of unity that we should have with our spouse, the heart of unity that we should have with our children, and our children have towards us. So because as parents, I always feel, I go to Cheong Shim Wan in the morning from 6 to 8. I pray in repentance. I didn't have this tending heart towards my children. So I repent, because I didn't have this attending heart towards my children. They obviously grow up. They don't feel that it's important to be filial to us. They don't feel that they need to attend to us because we never attended to them. So I repent. So this is true meaning of uniting in heart, whether you're talking about with God, with our true parents, with husband and wife, and parents and children. Thank you very much.